Well, hey, you're already here. I guess you must have missed me. Well, Happy New Year. Here, let me take off my shoes. You ever notice how every new year brings in that same old lie? Wrapped in glitter. New year, new me. That's what everybody says. But what if the you that you're trying to run from is the only version of you that can actually stand up for you? Welcome back to Mr. Hill's house. Tonight's New Year's Eve special episode, Champagne, Confessions, and The Godfather Part II. Wow, holiday films are some of the best for lighting. All those decorations, reflections, tinsel shadows, and little bursts of shimmers all on the skin. That's practical light heaven. Let Santa be your gaffer. Everything bouncing, living, breathing all over your performers' faces, giving it that cinematic glow you just can't buy. Or, I guess it's just a big part of the production budget, but you get it, right? Godfather series is a cinematic and on-camera performance clinic. And guess what? Those gorgeous films were shot on cameras that have less light stops than your iPhone. That's right, with no pixelation. Unless you're pirating, you naughty little boy. Watch one of my movies without pain and I'll binge you. Just kidding. Not really. I used to think saying yes was a shortcut to being loved. Turns out, it's just a long detour to resentment with a view of your crust boundaries. If you're an 80s baby that used to get their ass whipped when you kept the faucet water running for too long, you try to be the easy one, don't you? Yeah. You apologize for existing too loud because deep down, you think love has to be earned by being useful. If you're an abandoned latchkey kid, or maybe you just didn't get enough compliments growing up, all right? Or never experienced true unconditional love. Suffered failure, whatever heartbreak you like. People pleasing feels safer than being authentic. You know the worst part? Folks start believing you don't have any identity. Yeah, you disappear, one favor at a time. You have to look in the mirror and say hello to the bad guy. Wrong Pacino gangster quote, but we witnessed the blossoming of brilliant Al Pacino. You know, my hip hop partner actually had a whole song about him. I'm the Godfather, I'm the Godfather, I'm the Godfather, you in the grave, I'm the Godfather, I'm the Godfather. That was litty. That's how the kids say it these days. The Godfather Part II begins in Italy. Ah, Italy. Allora. So many memories. Michael Corleone's grandparents are murdered when his father, Vito, the original Godfather, was just a child, and he escapes to America and continues the reign of terror. Vito gets older and is played by the acting titan, Robert De Niro. We call him Bobby on set. This marvelous meta-poetry of Vito watching a play of a lonely Italian immigrant man receiving a letter from his mother that Vito could never get. Mama! Mamma mia! He notices the local boss, Don Fanucci, who's basically a bully that extorts all the powerless Italian immigrants. And Vito wasn't even going to do anything. He just wanted to do his job. But no, bullies have no breaks, my friend. Now, we try peace for as long as possible, but once I can't feed myself, well, no more Mr. Nice Guy. See, what bullies don't realize is, because of the ego they blind themselves with, well, the streets is watching, homie, and men trying to survive in the hood have a by any means necessary approach in life. Life has taught them nobody really cares anyway. And without the veil of fear, someone paying attention can easily notice just how little power Don Fanucci's little performances truly have, and how much animosity within the community it creates. Simultaneously, Vito's actions produce better results and goodwill. Vito knows that because of how exploitive Fanucci is towards his lonely Italian brothers, that bully has nothing. just smoke. A tiny apartment in the same tacky outfit every day. No one to protect them. Compare that to the armed battalion that murdered Vito's parents just for talking back. My life of crime came from the results. I mean Vito, of course. Vito's life of crime. Duh. Now, real talk. Every man from Washington, D.C. to Sicily knows this fact, my friend. If the system eats you long enough, your morality starts to taste like hunger. Hunger tastes like your tongue. And faucet water from a week-old red Solo cup. Vito wasn't looking for power. He was looking for peace. Poverty has a way of bringing out the worst parts of you in order to get to that peace. That's nature. That's survival. Instinct. There's a beautiful irony in it all. When he finally takes down Fanucci during the St. Mary's parade, that moment feels spiritual, like communion by retribution. And under it all, the song Nas and Jay-Z sampled for their Black Republican collab.
I know you can feel the magic, baby.
The celebratory horns and drums ring from heaven and say, we made it from the dirt, from deception, loss, hopelessness, powerlessness. And here we are.
Black militant taking over the government. Can't turn my back on the hood. Too much love for them.
Because when life gives you dirt, baby, you add water, you make a castle. Well, that actually makes mud, but you get the point, all right? You do what works. And it worked for Mr. Hill. I mean, Vito. God, Trey, you know your son is going to see this one day. When we fast forward after Vito's death, we see the fruits of his labor that his children currently get to taste. Senators are congratulating them for their great contributions to all that is good in the world and offering full scholarships to their children for all their altruistic contributions. Little innocent blonde kids singing with their hearts filled with the joy of a secure future, spotless crime record, and bloody hands. Michael Corleone. Brilliant, cold, strategic. But if you watch him close, he's not fearless. He's wounded. Oh. He's every recovering people pleaser's nightmare and a dream mixed into one shot of bourbon. This is just water. Spicy water. In the beginning, he's trying to hold loyalty. Keep the family tight, you know? He wants to protect everyone. But in the end, he's alone in that lake house, his soul evaporating. His problem wasn't that he cared too little. It's that he feared being disliked by the wrong people. That's the tragic arc of every people pleaser. The harder you try to be loved, the less lovable you become. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to go out and turn into Michael Corleone, of course, right? Don't start peeping out of the blinds in Tahoe, plotting on your brother, all right? Unless he deserves it. But there's a moment there when you see him. He realizes power without peace cost everything. That's the moment I had to face too. Only my lake house was a one-bedroom in Huntsville, Alabama. Same silence though. Same ghost. Similar to Michael Corleone's sobriety, when I stopped drinking, stopped trying to be the fun guy, I thought I was losing everyone. But what I found was the truth. I wasn't losing people. I was losing roles. I was finding myself, or I had finally found myself, felt myself. I don't know if everybody liked that, but I sure did. Celebrate. This is water. Spicy water. The role of the caretaker, the yes man, the nice guy, the cool guy, the human cushion for other folks' discomfort. You ever notice who gets mad when you stop pleasing them? It's never the ones who love you. It's the ones who benefited from your boundaries missing. That's the courage to be disliked. My grad school girlfriend had a lot of that. I stayed in hotels for a month after she kicked me out. Yay, boundaries. But done with grace and accountability intact, this is not arrogance, not cruelty, just self-respect in a clean suit, standing at the door saying, I don't do this anymore. Or, in our case, I'll make more money than you always, and your movies kind of suck, so get out. Michael's learning the cost of being the boss. Meanwhile, his wife wants it all legal, and a senator is threatening him with tiny metal cannons on his desk. You ever find yourself thinking about that dinner scene when Kay says she's aborted the baby?
It wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion. An abortion, Michael. Just like our marriage is an abortion.
If so, I'd suggest therapy or strong SSRI, but it wasn't about the baby. It was about the future. She's saying, I'm not birthing another Corleone. Imagine the pain of that. Love suffocating under a legacy, and yet the brilliance of Pacino, that calm apocalypse in his eyes, is what makes Michael so terrifying. Sharks don't blink, and neither does he. When his wife and mother of his child intentionally deceives him, did he make himself small? You ever notice Michael wanting to maintain friends with Hyman Roth or keep the brotherhood tight with Fredo? No. He just kept his enemies closer, as they say. You remember that New Year's Eve scene when Michael kisses Fredo? After Fredo let his betrayal slip out, talking a bunch of shit. The fireworks are blasting, people celebrating, and Michael's face is stone. That scene stuck with me, because life is exactly like that moment. The world's yelling Happy New Year, and you're realizing the harsh truth about someone you love.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
Sometimes New Year's isn't about champagne and shadows. Sometimes it's a funeral for who you used to be. This year, stop trying to be everyone's favorite. Be your own ally. Silence every voice that tells you being kind means being small. Being kind is being clear about who you are and how you will be treated. Anything less, you make them an offer they can't refuse. Okay, guys, don't go bang, bang, chokey, chokey anyone, all right? Please. Jesus loves us, all right? Candace Owens gives us great life advice. Don't forget. Godfather was a bombastic, explosive establishment of the world. Godfather 2 is a contemplation, a slow burn discovery of this new world seen through the piercing gaze of the new Godfather. Even more, the emotional stretching that Michael shows as he forgives his siblings during their mother's funeral.
Can't you forgive Fredo? I think that I did things to myself, to hurt myself so that you'd know, and I could hurt you. You were just being strong for all of us the way Papa was. You need me, Michael. I want to take care of you now.
Will Michael truly be able to depend on them? Unfortunately, Vito's family today is disjointed and traumatized. And it's only Michael's sheer will that centers any power the family really has. After all the death, divorces, betrayals, and decisions, what is Michael even doing this for? Why be strong?
Come on, don't touch the
Both his own and his father's family are gone. Why be powerful anymore? What's the point? Go to an island near Brazil, buy a wife who speaks a different language, and buy a boat and drift off into your own happy space, right? The final flashback scene with the whole family dinner table is just so mournful, huh? What a difference a few years make. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Everybody knows the mafia is gone now. that community grew past it. And now the mafia has just graduated into politics, police, and our overall justice system. Be careful. Even tougher to refuse their offers these days. Yay, capitalism. So raise your glass. Here's to being disliked. Here's to boundaries. Here's to no longer mistaking control for love and peace for weakness. Here's to growing enough callus around your heart that propels you into a reticent yet fulfilling bloodthirsty rise to the top of the capitalistic criminal underworld 2026. Happy New Year from Mr. Hill. Oh, there goes our jingle again. Because I'm super glad you like listening to me. And I hope that you grow or you make a movie. Hope you had a nice laugh. You learned and reclined Mr. Hill's house frame of mind. Wow. See you next time.